Wait, there's something over there. Flood Report 3. Reporter Representative. Record date. How many floods has there been? Can't remember. No matter how shiny the city looks, in my eyes it has never lived. Death, rebirth, and then destruction again. The unchanging sound of the water is like an urging. It's time for something different. After reading the new notes, the silence amongst the little Vitas became even more oppressive. The notion that this world operated according to principles which were purely malevolent had never entered their mind before, let alone that they would be the key figures right in the center of these principles. Vita watched them from a distance, raising an eyebrow. See, the truth can be quite unsparing at times. What exactly are you up to? It's a secret. I'll tell you when the time is right. Gricio clearly wasn't satisfied with her response, but before she could say anything, the Paradise Wardens surrounded them once again. There's a way ahead now. You've certainly got a unique way of clearing a path, Gricio. Let's check it out. This is the Ark's communicator. It took a few bumps during the crash landing, but wasn't damaged. The communicator suddenly emitted a signal indicating a connection. Gricio and Fuhua exchanged glances. Following that, a figure exuding no small amount of pomposity appeared on the screen. Well, if it isn't the great detective, I've been waiting here for quite some time. You took longer than expected. I presume that has to do with the little tag-alongs? You see, that's the disadvantage of being one of the good guys. There's always someone or something dragging you down. I'm currently at the top of the Ark, a place which you cannot reach. And this time, I hope we can reach a peaceful resolution. Let's set aside our differences and teach Sa a lesson, shall we? Do you really think we're buying a single line of what you're saying? Fuhua's reaction seemed to be precisely what Moriarty had expected, and he laughed dismissively. No matter, cooperate or not, the choice is mine, not yours. I tried every means to contact the Creator before you enter the Ark. See that? A looming entity faintly visible beyond the clouds. That is merely one of its limbs. Quite massive, isn't it? I've tried many ways to approach it, but unfortunately, it seemed to be under the protection of something whose nature surpasses that of this planet. I've even tried to fly up high, but due to what I can only assume is insufficient authorization, I was unable to get even a millimeter closer. There is, however, one last method which I have yet to try, which is also the most brazen. That is why I have come to you, extending an olive branch. In 1 minute, I will touch the pillar of light before me, which is comprised of pure energy from the Creator. Are you planning on killing yourself? I can see you may be led to that conclusion. Anyone who touches the light pillar will be instantly vaporized, completely disintegrated at the molecular level. However, because I happen to be a holo projection in the museum, there is another possibility. Using the pillar of light as a conduit, I will return to the source of this energy. I presume you wish to know the likelihood of this plan succeeding? Unfortunately, not even I can provide an accurate calculation at this point in time. I can see and understand your shock and disbelief. It is truly the gamble to end all gambles. How exciting! No crime could compare to this kind of rush. As for you, Fu Hua, it's a shame our reunion has to be cut short. We haven't had a chance to properly catch up as old friends. Doesn't matter. You'll soon witness my magnificent performance, which will be more profound than eternity of war could hope to be, though I don't know the odds. Just as in the past, I will not die until I've completed a truly magnificent caper. Well then, time wastes no one. Let's offer the art of finality to that arrogant god. Wait, Moriarty. My apologies, great detective, but this time, we really do have to say goodbye. And so, like an ephemeral firework, the life of the renowned criminal scholar burst with a resplendent grandeur for but a moment, and all fell into silence once again. The Napoleon of the criminal world, the unparalleled artist, seemed to have shuffled off this mortal coil and become the staff of legend, the gloomy sky above, now his eternal abode. A little over 10 minutes ago, a criminal who fancied himself an artist delivered his feral address and then vanished before the eyes of the public. After that, Fu Hua's group conducted a brief search and regrouped on the bridge. There's no sign of Moriarty anywhere. We haven't found anything on our end either. In the name of the representatives, if that Finn dares to show his face around here again, he'll have hell to pay. I don't think he'll be coming back, at least not for a while. I quickly checked all possible entrances and exits in the Ark and didn't find any color resembling Moriarty's. His characteristics are quite memorable, so for me to overlook them should not be possible. I never cease to be amazed by your ability, Gricio. As for me, fortunately, I haven't done any illegal hacking or anything, or I'd be too ashamed to stand here amongst your ranks. However, from what I've observed, there are traces of you coming and going plastered everywhere in the Ark. I guess that would be because you told me that wandering around the area while I was in dormancy was perfectly acceptable. Gricio can be quite stern sometimes. All of that was for work after all. What's there to feel guilty about? Work. Anyway, now that Moriarty has essentially gone entirely off-grid, can we assume that he's really gone? No need to mince words when talking about such a bastardly villain, Little Blue. He's dead. Although he's an exhibit, wouldn't it be more appropriate to say he's broken? The energy that the god uses to destroy the world is exceedingly powerful. Not to mention a database entity like him, even I would be instantly incinerated. I don't think Moriarty would recklessly choose self-destruction. This is a decision based on rational analysis. He either hasn't truly been annihilated, or he's still moving towards his goal in some other way. That's a tough nut to crack. And it's not that you picked up willingly. Right. As intriguing as it is, trying to make sense of Moriarty's plan isn't our top priority now. As he said before he disappeared, the impending apocalypse orchestrated by Sa is the biggest threat at the moment. All we need to do is remain wary of Moriarty while we consider how to counter Sa. Otherwise, we might lose sight of the bigger picture. That being said, being the enemy of our enemy doesn't necessarily make them our friend. Never forget that, and don't allow yourself to fall into anyone's trap. I agree with Hua. Indeed. As long as we can protect Phosphorus, we'll do our best to help. Alright, what's our move now? Vita's saying none of us can go toe-to-toe with that song. When push comes to shove, maybe I can pull out that one form, but relying on that entirely won't make up for how much more energy Sa has over us. Besides, what if? I guess we should start by finding out Sa's weakness. Weakness? Yes, our adversary might claim to be God, but they have been curiously restrained and haven't meddled in our endeavor or tampered with our cognitions. In the past cycle, their transcendental intervention was solely in response to the artifact being summoned, which triggered the cataclysmic flood. Maybe they've got a personal agenda, or they were just sticking to some rulebook. But either way, until they unveil their true power, we've got time to figure out their weakness. Just like the martial art in Hua's hometown, target the weakness and use their own momentum against them. I didn't think you still remember that, Gricio. Gricio and Fu Hua exchanged a knowing nod before Gricio turned her attention to Vita. What are you guys staring at? Like I said before, I'm just a hapless hollow projection trapped in a candy shell. There's not much I can do to help you out here, unfortunately. Speaking of which, have you got any leads on Sa's weakness? Sorry, nope. Like I said before, the creator and I weren't exactly best buddies. You've got my massive stack of reports, right? They dump all that work on me. I'm starting to think they see me as a slave. But you didn't exactly plan on spilling the beans until we stumbled upon these records. And earlier, when we discovered the link between the Ark and the museum, then you only confirmed it after we started to reckon. Don't blame me for not mentioning it sooner. The planet's seen its fair share of events, and I had to remember every little detail, or I wouldn't need to write reports. Besides, these things are just nitty-gritty. Even if I hadn't told you, the genius detective Fu Hua here would have sniffed it out sooner or later. Can you guarantee there aren't any more of these nitty-gritty that you have forgotten? How can I guarantee that? If I could recall the things I don't remember, then I wouldn't be unable to remember them in the first place. Besides, even if I crossed my heart and hoped to die, you still wouldn't take my word for it. The truth is, if I knew the god's weakness, I'd have figured out how to deal with them myself and wouldn't be stuck in this cramped holo projection right now with you. There's no chance they divulge their weakness to me. It's not a trust issue, but a top secret issue. It required time for Vita to divulge information. Fu Hua has slowly grasped Vita's negotiation style. She wouldn't know for sure how much of what Vita said was true, but she was certain that Vita wouldn't reveal any more information for now. Since we can't rely on you, we'll have to gather intel on our own, and the only safe place to do that right now seems to be inside the Ark. Oh wait, I just thought of a good place to look for what we need. My bedroom. Grisil, is this some kind of bold joke? No, I remember being in my bedroom on the day the Ark crashed. Back then, I was suddenly woken up by a system alert. I didn't have time to take any emergency measures before something suddenly knocked me out cold. After that, I was in a deep slumber for millennia until Fu Hua woke me up not long ago. Maybe it's a side effect of forced hibernation, or maybe it's something Sa did to me, but I can't remember how I ended up being locked away. But there's one thing I'm certain of. I was in my bedroom when the anomaly occurred. It's all coming together now. If Sa caused the anomaly, then this is probably the only accurate record of Sa's action we can trace back to. Yeah, that's what I meant. Let's not waste any more time. Come on, let's go. Alright, this is it. Wow, Grisil, your bedroom is way bigger than I thought. And it's so neat and tidy, even cleaner than Red's room. Really? This room, wow, it mustn't been cleaned for 1,000 years. That means Red's room is even messier than a room left untouched for 1,000 years. Come on, guys, don't exaggerate. But something about this place feels wrong. What do you mean, Purple? Can you sense something? I can't say for certain, but something feels a bit strange. Yeah, the decor in this room is like nothing found in phosphorus. If I encounter a room with this style there, I definitely think it's strange. But this is inside the Forbidden Ground, a place that we can't access. Seeing unfamiliar decor here shouldn't feel off to us. In fact, it should be quite the opposite. Purple, do you feel like something's off because the style here isn't unfamiliar enough? Well, when you put it like that, that's exactly it. Blue, you're a genius. I didn't exactly figure it out. I just have the same feeling. Simon must be thinking the same thing as well, since he's been peeking from the sidelines. I mean, yes. We're all here for the first time, right? I thought it was just my imagination. Hey, what are you guys talking about? We're discussing something strange, Vita. You can't say a girl's bedroom is strange. You hurt her feelings otherwise. Sorry, Gricio. How about I make it up to you with a piece of candy? I really don't mind. Just accept her kind offer. I miss the taste of this candy. I hate that I can't eat it right now. It's alright. Let's work together to find the god's weakness so we can resolve the situation. Then I'll be returned to Phosphorus and reunite with you. What, Fuhua? I didn't say anything weird, did I? No. Let's keep searching for clues. The style of the easel was so ordinary that even Fuhua couldn't tell if she'd ever seen it in the moth base. It now stood alone against the wall, just as Gricio did when she left on her own. There are no paintings on it. Was Gricio not painting on the day of the incident? No, I remember Gricio painting a lot. She usually kept a board on there even when the canvas ran out. Perhaps it was intentionally removed. Following this train of thought, Fuhua bent over and searched around the easel, eventually finding a covered board in the corner. As she flipped over the paint board, she found something unexpected. Did Gricio paint on the board directly instead of using a canvas? And the lines don't form any recognizable shapes. The colors are all over the place. Is it really something Gricio left behind? This is Gricio's storage cabinet. The spacious cabinet was surprisingly tidy, with colorful paint jars as the only noticeable items. It's clear that Gricio's hobby hasn't changed, even during the long journey of Project Arc. There's a gap between the outer and inner paint jars. Were they deliberately taken out? Did Gricio do this? But the colors of these paint jars are red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple. The 7 jars are placed on the outer layer, neatly arranged in an intriguing combination.